If he goes to the Sixers automatically become a big team in the East right now. I don't know if they would have to give up Simmons or any of the other big guys. I assume they would have to give up Simmons or Embiid. But that team would look very strong, especially because they've added some good 3-and-D guys like Seth Curry. They've really surrounded that team with shooters, which is what they were lacking last season. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Game Map Episode 2. I'm your host, Oscar Chow, and this is the destination for news in sports and culture, presented by Chess of Cards. So, today we're going to cover a few different topics. First off, NBA preseason. A lot of stuff has happened in the last 48 hours, and actually there's games being played to this second, which we'll cover, so get ready for that. Next up, we have both of the Ball brothers have made NBA debuts this week. Obviously, LaMelo Ball played his first game yesterday, and we'll get into it more. And then LiAngelo, I believe, is currently making his debut now. So I don't know if we'll get into that one today, but we'll definitely hit that up on tomorrow's show. And then finally, we're going to be going over the Russell Westbrook trade. Is Harden staying or leaving the Rockets? And we'll cover all the information to do with that one. And then at the end, if there's any Q&A in the chat, I'll answer those questions. All right, so NBA preseason. We've seen quite a few games go down already. I think there's been just over 10 games played in the last 48 hours. So I tried to watch the YouTube highlights, and obviously I don't have time to watch every single one of them. But there were some great performances all around. So obviously the big game between the Lakers and the Clippers, the matchup that we didn't get to see in the bubble, that happened, and the Lakers took that one out 87-81. Now, we didn't see any minutes from Anthony Davis or LeBron James, purely because of their resting, and obviously, fair enough. And I don't even know if we're going to see them play in the preseason at all. But, we had PG-13 out there with Kawhi Leonard, and they still took the L. So that's it. That was an interesting game to watch for sure. So yeah, we had Hawks losing out to the Magic. We had the Knicks beating the Pistons. We had the Rockets taking out the Bulls, and the Trailblazers taking out the Kings. Now, moving on to yesterday, we had the Cavs beating the Pacers. We had the Thunder beating the Spurs, Raptors beating out the Hornets, and the Grizzlies beating out the Timberwolves, as well as the Mavericks taking out the Bucks. This one was interesting, guys. So we got to see Luka play. And I cannot remember if Giannis played or not, but yeah, that was a good game. And then also we had the Warriors v Nuggets, and we got to see Steph shooting for the first time in such a long time since he broke his hand, and obviously that man can still ball. I don't know if you guys saw the shot he took before the game from the stands, so bit of a trick shot. That was awesome to see. And then yeah, Jazz taking out the Suns, so the Suns clean sheet has been ended. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. But anyway, so aside from the preseason, obviously we're looking forward to the December 22nd NBA restart. And yeah, it's going to be, I cannot believe that it's already NBA season again. I mean, it's only been, I don't know, probably a month or two now since the finals. It feels like that. It could be less. It probably is less, actually. So yeah, when reporting on the NBA's planned start date for the upcoming season, Woj reported that a quick turnaround wasn't ideal, but it's what the league needed to capitalize on, because obviously they've lost out on so much money not having fans in the stands, and they need that revenue to keep the league going. So they want to get that going as quickly as possible, even if it isn't in the players' best interest. It just has to happen. But it's good for me and you because we get to have basketball back sooner. But obviously there'll be some quarrels from the players, and that's why you'll see guys like LeBron and Anthony Davis sitting out. So if we look ahead to this year's Christmas lineups, we've got the Pelicans playing the Heat, the Warriors playing the Bucks, the Nets playing the Celtics, the Mavs playing the Lakers, which I'm excited for as a Lakers fan, and then we have the Clippers taking on the Nuggets, which will be interesting because obviously last time we saw the Clippers and Nuggets, it did not go well for the Clippers, as they blew that 3-1 lead, and we don't need to say too much more about that. So yeah, few different games to look forward to. Let me know if you guys are watching any of the preseason games today. That's it's exciting stuff. It's exciting stuff, man. All right, I'm just gonna check the chat real quick, see if we've got Cal on TikTok. I'm just gonna actually grab my phone because I've got my laptop set up on the other side of this desk, but I can't really see the comments. It's too zoomed out. So I'll check the actual stream comments here. So yeah, but how are you guys doing? I hope you're enjoying this so far. All right, we got One Man Wrecking Crew says, Chester Cards, what's good? Yo, what's good, man? I'm doing so well. I cannot wait for tomorrow's launch. It's going to go down 12 p.m. Australian Eastern District Time. It's in less than 24 hours. Can you guys believe that? Wow. All right, we have C4DE6. Hey, man, I love your content and hustle. How are things going right now with business? Things are awesome, man. Everything is on track for tomorrow. I'm probably going to have to pull it all-nighter. I'm not going to lie, just to get the final touches and everything. But, you know, we're well on track. I'm doing a photo shoot this afternoon for the product, which, as you can see, we've got the top-tier product sitting in front of me here. We have 3 awesome-looking cards sitting in there. And, yeah, I just cannot believe I'm ecstatic with how everything's came out. Like, I envisioned it in my head, and then to see everything finally coming together, it's just amazing. And I appreciate you guys supporting me as well. Jody Junk says King, and Riley Atkins says, how much will it cost? So the base level will start at $99.95 AUD, and it will be, there's also another tier at $250 and then $500. So you guys will see that all tomorrow, and there'll be more details out on that on the actual website. All right, so I think we're going to get into the second part of today's episode of Game Map, which is LiAngelo Ball and LaMelo Ball making their NBA debuts. This is crazy to me, guys, because it feels like, I don't know about you, but it feels like I've watched them grow up, even though Jello is older than me, and I think I'm older than LaMelo. But yeah, it's so cool. I don't know. Did you guys watch the replay of the Hornets playing? LaMelo had, it wasn't his best game. He was 0 from 5 for shooting. So obviously a bit of nerves coming out there. They kind of played him weird though. Like, he didn't get to play his usual role. But he did get to handle the ball and push the ball fast, and he racked up over 10 assists, which was awesome to see. And he had that highlight play where he went behind the back, running down the stretch to the layup. So that was actually awesome. And then also had a nice drive, and then another behind the back to a finish. I'm not too familiar with the Hornets players, so I can't name drop. But yeah, it was good to see LaMelo out there doing his thing. And then LiAngelo. So obviously we saw LiAngelo Ball have a spot at the training camp for the Pistons. Now, this is interesting because the Pistons, I don't know the details of the contract. I can scroll because they're somewhere on the spreadsheet that I've set up. But yeah, basically he went to the training camp. He can prove himself and make the roster. Now, the problem is the Pistons actually don't have a G League team anymore. So if he didn't make the actual roster to be on the NBA team, then things could get interesting now. Because a number of teams have decided to pull out of the G League due to COVID. And yeah, cause I think the G League is played in a bubble. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But that's that. So he's had the training camp. He gets the opportunity to play in a few preseason games. And basically, he has to just ball out to be able to make this roster. Because the Pistons, they already have all 15 spots sealed. So everyone's under contract. So basically what he needs to do is absolutely ball out, and then best case scenario, they waive one of the other guys, you know, in that 16th. Actually, I don't know how many players can make an NBA roster, but yeah, to be able to waive one of those players and for him to take their spot in the team, because even though he can go to the G League, that's very uncertain. But also, obviously, teams have sign and trades, or not sign and trades, but like a two-way contract where a player can be called up to the league, or they can go back to the G League team. But those spots are also filled for the Pistons. So very, very interesting. Here we go. So LiAngelo Ball signs a 1-year non-guaranteed contract with the Detroit Pistons after his chance with OKC G League's team was spoiled. So that was because of COVID, obviously, which was going to happen on March 11th. And they cancelled the season on March 11th. So he never even got to see his G League debut. But it's okay because he's in the preseason now. So LeVar, this is actually hilarious, guys. Once again, LeVar Ball was right. All 3 of his sons are in the league. And, you know, that's something to be proud of. Like, he spoke that into existence, which is cool. So, yeah, no, it'll be awesome to see how he goes. I hope he performs well. I'm a fan of him. I don't know, are you guys a fan of Jello? I personally am. I'm a fan of all the Ball brothers. When Lonzo played for LA, which is my team, he was my favorite player on the roster. Now we had to go and buy that Anthony Davis jersey. But But yeah, and I'm keen to see LaMelo play. I think he's going to do so well with the Hornets. He seems to have a great supporting cast, and there was an interview today where his teammates were basically saying they're the happiest rookie they've ever seen. So he seems happy to be there, and I think he's just going to continue to learn and develop and grow and flourish into a great player. So we'll see where he goes this season, and I think it'll be awesome. I've got high hopes for him. Okay, I'm just going to check the chat again before we jump into our next topic. So we've got a few people on Twitch. We've got people on TikTok. We've got people on Instagram. Let's check the comments here. All right, we're all caught up from last time. Sweet. G'day. Hey, everyone joining. Hope you guys are doing well. All right, we'll jump into the next topic then. So, obviously, this trade happened a little while ago, and I wanted to cover it at the time. I made a little TikTok on it, which is funny. But here's the details. So, basically, Russell Westbrook has been traded to the Washington Wizards for John Wall and a lottery-protected 2023 first-round NBA draft pick. Now, there was a lot of discussion about this trade happening. Obviously, Westbrook and Harden have both privately requested trades before they hit free agency. So this was kind of an expected trade to happen. And I think that, Russell, he wanted breathing room. He didn't feel like he had the ball in his hands enough being in Houston. Obviously, Harden is so ball dominant. And so having those two guys on the team playing small ball, it didn't work out for them. Obviously, we saw the Lakers just come in and completely dominate them in the bubble and shut down any hopes of an NBA team running complete small ball and, making it to the finals or taking out conference finals or something like that. So, yeah, I'm just reading some details here. Discussions had been stalled since mid-November, sources said, until two general managers of the Wizards and the Rockets decided to get on the phone, which would have been last Tuesday, and they worked out a deal within a few hours. Now, I don't know how much this benefits either team. I think if anyone wins from this trade, it will be the Washington Wizards, just purely because John Wall obviously is coming off that, I think, the 2018 season he was injured, and he hasn't played since then in 2.5 years. So very concerning in terms of if he comes back, is he at 100%? I don't think we normally see anyone come back at 100% from injury. And even if you look across the league, like Kevin Durant, for instance, when he came back in the finals, and he obviously came back prematurely, re-injured himself, tore the Achilles, and now he's not going to be the same. So similar to how KD is going to come back this season, it'll be interesting to see how John Wall comes back and fits in with the Rockets, and especially if Harden stays, because if Harden stays, then I think they have a shot to, make I could see them going like 6th or 7th seed into the playoffs. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And then obviously with Russ going to the Wizards, I think it'll be a good fit. I don't know if they I think with him and Bill, the chemistry there is going to be interesting. So we'll see, I guess, as the season starts, how they gel with each other. And, I could potentially see them making 8th seed. They're going to be around that 8th or 9th seed, probably, in my opinion. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how if Russ remains the walking triple-double over there. Obviously, last season, he didn't quite get to that, 10 rebounds, 10 assists that we've seen for him from the past 3 seasons from 2016 through to 2019. But yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. I'm happy for Russ to get out of a system where I guess he wasn't happy. So, that's what's important for these players. So yeah, that's basically like all I wanted to say for today's show, guys. I just wanted to catch up on a bunch of news that's been going around the league. Tomorrow, I want to cover off on Anthony Davis's new contract with the Lakers and also LeBron's extension. And then we'll jump into all of the preseason games that are happening right now. So I'll go through and watch those all. Let me know if you guys are watching them, because I know a few are live right now. So it's awesome to have basketball back. And yeah, I cannot wait for the rest of this week. NBA free agency is closing soon. So we only have just over, I think, a week and a half left of that. So it'll be interesting to see if Harden gets traded or not. He's made it clear that he's made his destinations Brooklyn, the Sixers, and I think potentially he said Celtics maybe. I don't know. I think discount that one. But it'll be interesting because if he goes to the Sixers automatically become a big team in the East right now. I don't know if they would have to give up Simmons or any of the other big guys. I assume they would have to give up Simmons or Embiid. But that team would look very strong, especially because they've added some good 3-and-D guys like Seth Curry. They've really surrounded that team with shooters, which is what they were lacking last season. And then if you think about Harden going to Brooklyn, obviously they might have to give up Karis LeVert, Allen, the center, a few other guys. But I think even if they do that, Brooklyn, obviously with Kyrie and KD and they're a pretty deep team, even though the players aren't as well known. You won't find me name dropping their players. But yeah, it'll be interesting because having 3 stars on one team, that's a lot of basketball to divide between 3 people on the court at the same time. But yeah, so if that happens, that will be crazy because, with KD coming back from injury, Kyrie throwing all sorts of shade at LeBron and antics in the locker room, and then you have Harden fresh out of Houston, maybe a bit of a chip on his shoulder, because I don't know how people like how he's handling it at the moment, especially in the media, has been kind of getting a bad name and a bad run. But we'll see what happens. And if he stays in Houston, then I don't know. Does he play the whole season? Does he sit out? Does he get disgruntled? Is he trying to mess up the locker room? We'll find out. That'll all be later this week. I'm sure something is bound to happen anytime soon. So yeah, you got to look forward to that. I'll check the chat one more time, see if anyone. Here we go. So we got Mitchell. He says, "Bro, respect the grind. How much are the boxes?" So once again, these boxes are starting at $99.95 Australian. We ship worldwide, so it doesn't matter where you guys are. If you're Aussie, if you're in New Zealand, if you're from Canada, from the US, the UK, we will get them to you. But they're absolutely awesome, and I'm so happy with how they came out. The BJS cards just look absolutely, it just looks brilliant. Like, I could not have conceptualized and brought it to reality any better than I think I've done it at the moment. And I think I'm just keen to get it out to you guys. 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow. So get keen for that. The website will be out, chestofcards.com. I'll say it one more time, chestofcards.com, spelled exactly like my handles, my username. So yeah, it's super exciting, and I cannot wait to launch that for you guys. I'm keen to see what the response will be like. So yeah, other than that, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. You're absolutely awesome. This show has been so much fun to do, and I cannot wait to do more in the future. I'm just checking the comments right now. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. It's really hot right here in Australia, so hopefully it's a bit cool tomorrow for tomorrow's show. But until then, I'll be up, I'll be grinding, I'll be getting this website done, getting this photo shoot done, putting out content, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.